today James joins me for this review, and we are reviewing the new Chicago Tavern style pizza, and we got this one in double pepperoni.
Yeah, I was just thinking I'm the worst person to review pizza because I like it so much. I never dislike pizza, so I'll give it a shot anyways.
I think you may like this one too because it's themed around the 1930s, and I know this guy right here is a big fan of the 1920s.
20s and 30s because I like that area of movies. I mean, there was a lot of bad stuff going in the 1930s, but
right.
But they had a lot of good, funny movies back then.
What were some of your favorites?
Laurel and Hardy, Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd. I can go on and on.
That's awesome.
Three Stooges, Marx Brothers. Come on. It's a great era of comedy.
You still watch the Marx Brothers,
I do.
right?
I love them.
Yeah. Okay, so are you excited to try this pizza?
I love pizza, and from what I've heard about this, sounds pretty good.
I agree. And I want to point out the box itself. I love the look of it. It's very 1930s, I feel.
Let's crack this thing open here.
Okay.
And there we go.
Right here we can see this is a large pepperoni. It is thin and crispy crust. You can see toppings all the way to the edge. Now, this pizza is supposed to be double pepperoni, meaning that there is regular classic pepperoni and then there are cupped pepperonis. I do want to say I do not see any cupped pepperonis. Do you, James?
I'm not seeing any cupped.
Right.
Yeah, so I think we just got regular pepperoni.
And something else to note about this is there is Parmesan oregano seasoning on this pizza, and all the slices are cut into squares, and there is a sweet marinara sauce.
So if I understand this right, this pizza, what makes it unique is it has thin crust, square slices, and toppings out to the edge.
Correct.
That the main thing?
Yes.
Okay.
And the price for this is $12 for a large pizza. What do you think about that price?
Is that large?
This looks like a medium. This looks like a medium, if I'm going to be honest
It's
with you.
like 12 inches.
I know that doesn't look like a large, but
I think their larges have become a victim of shrinkflation. That's like an old school medium
Right.
now. Medium is the new large.
yes. But for a large pizza being $12, what do you think about that price?
I mean, these days that's about average, so it's not too bad, I guess. But,
Right.
I mean, it smells good. It looks good. I can't imagine that tasting bad based on what I see and smell. So
I do have to ask you, do you think this pizza was very prominent in the 1930s?
I'm gonna guess that the pizzas in the 1930s looked and tasted nothing like this.
Okay, yeah.
This is like, there's probably maybe some elements of a 1930s pizza, but I have a hard time imagining that that's what food tasted like back then.
Right. What do you think the crust was like back then? I almost want to say, like, what if it was darker?
Yeah, I mean, everything back then was more fresh. Like things weren't so like trucked in and frozen and everything. Things were fresh back then.
Right.
So I'll bet pizza back then tasted nothing like it does now.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Before James picks his slice, I do want to say something funny. We usually have a tendency of choosing the same slice without saying anything about it. So I'm curious if he's going to choose the slice I'm looking at.
All right, let's see. All right, so the slice I'm looking at is this one right here.
Oh, okay. Okay, that was not the slice.
What were you looking at?
I was looking at this one.
Okay, good. You can have that one. I'm going to take this one.
Okay.
Oh, it is nice and thin.
Yeah.
Wow, that is. Look at how thin that is.
That's beautiful.
That's like that crust is like maybe not even a quarter of an inch.
Right. I'm going to go for this slice right here.
You should. That looks like a nice 4 pepperoni slice.
Ta-da.
Very nice.
Thank you. All right, Freakin' Reviews, ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go for it.
Here you go.
Let's go for another one. Next up, we have to do a crust bite. It's really good. Whoa, you finished yours quickly.
I like pizza. All right, so the big question now is, what did you think?
I really like this pizza. I think the size of the pizza is a problem. I do not think it's a large. If you're gonna do a large, make a large, you know?
It's a large.
Right. It's a large. That's a con I have with this, but everything else tasted really good. I was a little bummed that there was no cupped pepperoni, but I don't know. I love pepperoni. You can't go wrong with it. The marinara was sweet. It was very thin and crispy. I liked the Parmesan oregano seasoning. It was a nice touch to it. And the crust had a nice buttery bottom to it.
I had an interesting observation. Tell me if you had the same observation I did.
Okay.
One thing I noticed is I felt like the crust on the outside was crispy, but toward the inside it seemed a little bit on the softer side to me. Did you notice that on yours, or was it maybe just my piece?
I didn't think it was soft. I thought it was all crispy, but maybe I'm wrong.
Interesting. 'Cause like, maybe over here is where I had mine at. See, like in the inside, that side was kind of soft, but this was all crispy.
I thought everything was pretty crispy, but
Maybe I just had the single one piece that wasn't great.
Were you finding it a little soggy, or?
It wasn't soggy. It wasn't as crispy as the outside was.
Oh, okay, interesting. I felt like mine was pretty crispy through and through.
I mean, it was good. It was just I noticed a difference in texture. That's all.
That's a fair opinion. All right, James, what was your opinion of this?
I mean, I really liked it. Obviously, I mean, you can't go wrong with it. It tastes exactly like it looks, and like it smells. When you take a look at it and you have an idea how it's going to taste, that's how it tastes. It's very good. I prefer thin crust pizzas, so I mean, I really liked it. I like the topping out to the edge. I feel like that they just cut the edges off and threw them away, and that's why it's so much smaller.
Yes. You know what? That's actually a good point. I saw online somebody who was an employee said that they take the crust off of it. So maybe that's why it's smaller.
That's why it looks like a smaller pizza, because this is the large that would have that crust. They just got rid of it.
Dang it.
They gypped us.
Don't gyp us like that.
Overall, I think it's very good. I mean, it didn't, taste-wise, it wasn't revolutionary. I mean, I feel like it's a pretty familiar tasting pizza. It wasn't like, whoa, I've never had a pizza like that before. It was like, oh, it's pretty good, thin crust pepperoni pizza. Yeah. I have no complaints about it. It just wasn't extraordinary, but it was certainly good.
Yes. I would definitely have this again. And I think $12 for a large pizza is pretty good, right?
Right.
Large. All right, Freaking Reviews, now for the big question. Would you have this pizza again?
I would have it again because I really do like the thin crust, and it's thin. That's among the thinnest crust I've had, and I do like that. So, I mean, I think in that respect, it probably stands out.
Right.
I don't know if I would go out of my way for it, but if I was going to order from Pizza Hut again, I'd probably actually order this one again.
I actually think, too, I would 100% order this again. I love that thin and crispy crust, and sometimes it's harder to get that type of crust. Yeah. Like cooked to the way you want it.
Yeah, a lot of thin crust out there is not even that thin anymore sometimes.
Right.
So.
Or it's too soggy, or chewy. So I really like this. I'll definitely go for this again.
Sounds good.
Okay, Freaking Reviews, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye.
Bye.